resume box. You're probably here because you bought this resume on Etsy, but if you found your way here on YouTube, feel free to follow the link below and get your copy of the template for $7.95. You're probably going to be able to figure out how to make this template yourself just by watching the tutorial and seeing how it all works, but I'm telling you, $7.95 is well worth the time that you're going to save by using the pre-made template. Before we start, there are two things that I want to talk about. The first of which is I've switched my recording software, and my new software doesn't have the noise reduction capabilities that my last software had, and I'm next to a road, and I just want to apologize up front, and I really hope that any noise that the cars that drive by create isn't that much of a distraction. And the second of which is if you look at the resume right here, this diamond, the resume that you bought or the one from the thumbnail on the YouTube video may not have a diamond. And so for each resume, there are 4 identical resumes, and the only thing that's different between them is the shape that is right here at the corners of at the corners of the rectangles. So you don't have the wrong template or the wrong tutorial. This is going to work. Everything's going to work the same, and by watching this tutorial, it's still going to show you how to use the resume that you bought or the one that you liked on the thumbnail. And with that introduction, let's begin. So I'm going to show you how this thing's put together and how to make any changes you want. And at the end of the video, if you still need help, just shoot me an email or a message on Etsy, and I'll help you within 24 hours. We may not be to a final product within 24 hours, but we'll be well on our way. And I'll do anything I can to help you. If it comes down to it, if we have to get on a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting or something like that, and I have to take the time to help you in person, I don't mind doing that. Alright, so there are 4 main components of this resume. There's 1 is the text boxes, 2 is the body, which is the words that contains the fonts, colors, and text spacing, 3 are the SVG icons, and 4 are the outline rectangles. So let's talk about text boxes. So everything you see is in a text box, and it's in a text box for ease of formatting. That way you can move them around however you want to. Within the text box, everything works just like a Word document. You can add, subtract to it. All of the functions work exactly the same. The only thing that's special is they're not tied to the actual lines on the Word document, so you can move them anywhere you want without any problems, just like that. So there's only one text box that's different, and it's this one, the contact text box. And what this is it's a group of text boxes. So you have the big one. You can select the big box and move it all together as one component. You can select the small text box and move just the words, or you can select just the SVG icons and move those independently. So second off are going to be your fonts, colors, and text spacing. So if we go here, let's just select this. Right now I'm using Corbel Light and 11. So you can change this to any font that you want. You can change it to any size that you want. The only thing that I would say is I'd stay around 12 probably. The bigger you go, the harder it's going to be to fit it on the resume and within a text box and leave space for everything else. So really about 12 is as big as I would go. So that's it for fonts. On colors, we can go, colors are simple right here, or you can go here and make custom colors, or even more custom colors right here. So that's the last part of this, which is going to be the most important part, the most advanced part, is text spacing. So this text is normally spaced. All of the body is normally spaced, and that means that the letters sit right beside each other and there's no space in between them. But the titles and the name are all different. So this is spaced out by 6 just so that it looks better. And let me show you how to change the spacing. We go to the little arrow at the bottom of font and we go to advanced. You see that the spacing is expanded by 6 points. Let me show you the reason why it's like that. So if I change this back to normal, hit OK, the name gets pushed together, and it really just doesn't look as good, I don't think. So, but all this is going to be subjective based on what you want, how long your name is, how short your name is. It's really up to you to customize it and make it exactly how you want. And the same thing goes with your title. The longer or shorter your title is, you may want to space it out more or less, and I'm going to leave that completely up to you. You just go to the little arrow on font to change it if you want to change it. So next is the SVG icons. So we can select these, and we can go to graphics format, and the first thing I want you to notice is the size. So I have these at 0.28 by 0.28, and you can change them to anything you want really, 0.35, 0.3, 0.25, something in that ballpark, whatever you think looks the best for your resume. If you go too big, you're not going to be able to fit them on there. If you go too small, you're not going to be able to tell what they are. So I found a happy medium with 0.28 inches. I've included the resume icon pack, and whenever you go to add those in, why the size becomes important is when you go to add them in, you'll go to the SVG pack, you'll right click and copy the icons that you want, and you'll come over and you'll paste them into this resume. And they're going to come in at like 1 inch. So the first thing you're going to have to do to work with them is change their size. From there, we can go and change their color. So fill isn't useful. Whenever you go to fill, like let's say we use black, it's just going to create a black dot. Using fill isn't useful. What you want to use is graphics outline. And let me select one that's further down so you can actually see what's happening. When we change the color of this is what actually changes the color of the icon. So, and that's pretty much it. Oh, there's this one. This Apple icon. You can delete it if you want to. You don't have to keep it. But one thing to notice is if you go to Y outline, the apple gets thinner. And if you go to no outline, it gets a little bit thicker. If you go to black, it gets even thicker from there. And it's all about what you want. You'll actually have to change the fill too to make it look good. You can do whatever you want with that. You can get, like I said, you can get rid of it. You can move it around. You can make it bigger or smaller if you want. Just really whatever you want to do. Speaking of bigger and smaller, you basically just select something and you go to the sides or the corners until you see the arrow, and then you can change the size of something. And that works the same way with the text boxes. So if you end up having more or less room, depending on how long your section is, you can change that around as well. And that leaves us with the outline rectangles. All of these lines are actually rectangles that are put perfectly beside each other to give you the illusion that they're all joined together. And if you want to select them and change them, what I've learned is the ones on the right side are best selected from the top, and the ones on the left side are best selected from the very left. So if we just go down, click them, this one does this entire rectangle, this one's a smaller one, this one does just its section, this one does just its section, and this is not in one at all because it's surrounded on all sides and it doesn't need it. And the same thing goes here. This is just one big rectangle. There's not one down on extras, and the only other rectangle is here on references. So you can move those around, change their sizes or anything like that. And let me show you an example here. You have a reference sheet. You can choose to use it or not, or you may just choose that you only want to include 2 references. So let's do that here. Let's get rid of that. Let's move the text box to make it the right size now. And let's move the rectangle to match it. And that's going to give you more room for extras. So we can bring the extras up. You can add more of them if you just want to add simple things. Or what you can do is you can copy and paste. The 3-page version has a more detailed extra section. You could copy it and paste it into this one, or you may be using the 3-page version. What's really important is what happened now that we changed the box size. Notice here that the diamond no longer sits in the right spot. So let's take and move it, just give it a general location about in the right spot, then come down here to the bottom right and zoom all the way in. And that's going to give us more control over the exact placement. All right, look at that. And it's not perfect. You can see that it's a little bit out of line. But when we go back to 100, let's actually go to an exact 100, because sometimes it looks weird whenever it's not at 100. It looks fine. Whenever somebody prints that out, or when somebody's looking at it as a Word document or a PDF, however the hiring manager looks at it, it's going to come out perfect. Nobody's going to notice that it's a little bit messed up. And because when somebody looks at your resume, they're really just reading the body of it. They're going to notice the diamond. They're going to notice that, you know, you took time with the design, and they'll appreciate it, but they're not going to notice any issues with it being a little bit off. And, you know, I think that's pretty much it. If you don't care, please take a moment to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates on my new products. I'll be doing some financial planners, some digital planners, some business creation paperwork if you want to create your own business, and all kinds of other forms and things to help you in your career and business journey. And not only that, but it's going to help with the algorithm. It's going to help other people on YouTube find these resumes and help them find my products, and hopefully my products will be able to help more people with their career journey as well. And other than that, I just want to thank you for your support. And if you have any issues, please feel free to send me a message, and I'll help you out as best as I can. I hope you have a great day. I wish you all the best on your job search and in your career. And